Hey, what's up, y'all? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. So in today's episode, we're gonna start trying to wrap the pieces up on our next tier spacecraft. Maybe we make it there today, maybe we don't. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so to start off, this is only set up for the regular space plating, but for each tier of rocket, we need to make the fins and the nose cone, which takes 51 of the plain space plating blocks. So let's go get that recipe going and figure it out and in the machines. So yeah, here we go. Space plating block. So it takes, what is that, an eighth of a bucket? So that times 4 would be a half bucket per craft and 4 space plating. So a half bucket of polyethylene and 4 space plating and 1 steel sheet metal. So you need to be 4 and you need to be 0.5, right? 125 and 125 is 250. 250 and 250 is 0.5. Yes, math. Okay, and that gets us a recipe for the regular space plating block. So now, if we come look for our pattern provider that is outputting into a storage controller, right there. There we go. Now we should be able to make the space plating blocks, and I do believe the number of those we need for the 4 fins and the nose cone is 51. So let's go ahead and try to craft 51 of those. Space cowboys plating. Space plating block. 50, what did I say? 51. Says we have everything we need, and that it knows how to make everything else. So let's let that roll and see if that gets our 51 space plating blocks going. Let's just come out here and make sure that it's working. It's not going to work. You know why it's not going to work? The same thing I told you guys before. We need to set these buffers. So we need a steel sheet metal. So I need you to make me, like, just some. 10 of them's fine. Okay. So we need a spot for steel sheet metal. Boop. Take my 4 back out. And then you also are going to need a spot for space plating, which is all being held in the crafting buffer. So let's cancel that out to dump those back into the system. And then now, if I can function, we need to go upstairs and set that drawer for space plating. Okay, and then last but not least, we need to set the polyethylene. So do we have polyethylene in a bucket? No, we don't. Okay, so now let's go grab a bucket of polyethylene to set the filter. Which way is it? That way. Okay, backpack, bucket, polyethylene, liquid sulfuric acid. Polyethylene, 88 buckets. Cool. Now we got a bucket of that. Let's come over here. We're going to need our locking and unlocking. So don't forget, you're going to have to do this for each of the different tiers. If you want to add this in your world and you want them all craftable, they'll all need to be added in. Oh, shoot. Since we unlocked it and it no longer has the other one, What just happened? Oh, you just took my fluid and you sent it over here. Okay. Well, this is not good. Not good. Panic, Wooly. Let the panic take you. No, I'm just kidding. Don't panic. And then I also needed the other one. What was it? Liquid Elemental Void, right? Do I have any of that left? Let's see. Liquid Elemental Void. No. So, but can you make me some? Like 10 buckets? I need a bucket of it at least to set that filter. I guess that's something to remember. Your fluid drawer is going to break its filter every time. Maybe there's a way around that. All right, y'all. So in y'all's worlds, I mentioned it in the video, it might be better to separate these into individual drawers, and I think that's what we're going to have to do. That way, when we go to add fluids, we don't have to go through the process of re-adding all the fluids back to the drawer when it forgets them because it's empty. But if you just put each one in a new individual fluid drawer, then, you know, you're not unlocking any of them to add anything else. Or just set them all up at once while you've got access to all the fluids and never touch it again. Either or. But we have everything added. So we added our space plating, we added our steel sheet metal, and we have our buffer for our polyethylene. So let's give it another go and tell it to make us space plating blocks times 51. Now we may need to add some other things onto some of the cards, but I guess we'll see. All right, so everything showed up here. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I think this extract card, not the fluid card, the item card, it has no filter. But the steel sheet metal and the space plating have nowhere to go. They don't know where they're supposed to go because we don't have them set on our item filters. So this one is going to be to the north, and we need to add in the space plating. So now we should see, yep, that come in right there. On this one on the north, it has any fluid, so we should have our fluid, no problem. Now this one on the down is going to need to be able to insert the steel sheet metal block, the basic block that starts this craft. So we just need to add that in, and it should kick off. So automating this is not as simple as just, you know, set it and forget it. But once we have them all in here, they'll all be in here. And if you look, this is working wonderfully. All of our fluids, all of our buffer of items for the crafts get sent in, and this thing just processes them. You can actually watch them kind of work their way through. And you'll notice when, like, some of these are more done than others. So they'll, you know, kind of be more than one status of them in here at a time, but you don't have to mess with it or worry about it at all. They will all finish because we did the math right, and there will be enough of all the components to complete all the crafts. I'm curious why it hasn't sent the rest of those steel sheet metal in. Oh, there we go. It's sending now. But there we have it. We don't need to make you guys watch all of that, but that is going to prove, so I'll be back when it's done. All right, so there we have it. If we look here, our 51 space plating block completed successfully, and there is no leftover crafts anywhere. Nothing in the spout, nothing in any of the hands, nothing in any of the barrels, and everything's zeroed out. So we did learn about our oversight here. We need to swap these over to single drawers for the layout. That way we, you know, aren't like running the risk of something troubleshooting with one, you know, having to break them all. But, you know, small oversight. We did learn about that. We will fix it. So now, what else do we require? Or is it time to go back and do some miniaturization crafting? Now we have all of the space plating blocks we need in our storage. The last thing I need to pull out. So 51 space plating blocks. Now I have everything else we need to make our tier 4 rocket. So don't let me just rush into space and die and have to have another great body rescue. Please don't let me do that. But we're going to see what we can do. This here is everything you're going to need. I'm going to go over it. I don't know if I'll have time in post to remember to put a list on screen, but if I do and it's there, you're welcome. And if not, I'm sorry. So you're going to need 51 space plating blocks, a lightning rod, 3 heavy engineering blocks, 4 light engineering blocks, and 2 space plating. You need the space plating to initiate the craft after you assemble it in the big miniaturization crafting setup. Then for the calorite tanks and calorite engine, you're going to need 156 calorite space plating blocks. You're going to need 54 dynamic tanks, 24 hardened glass. You are going to need 1 light engineering. You are going to need 1 redstone engineering, 4 radiators, 20 heavy engineering, and 1 256k crafting storage, along with 3 calorite space plating. That will get you all of your components, and then for the remainder of the rocket, you are going to need 6 calorite blocks of just the ingots turned into block form. So you guys have seen me build these before on the series 2 or 3 times. I think I only showed it twice, so I will not make you watch it again, but I am going to get the miniaturization crafting set back up because I packed it up at the old base and just haven't put it out. I'm going to build our rocket, and then I will be right back with you. Well, it started raining on me, but we got it done. We got our calorite tanks, we've got our calorite engine, we have our fins, we have our nose cone. We are ready to build our tier 4 rocket. I hope you guys are excited like I am. Let's see, I think this thing will let me put it all in there. Careful, this is a loud one. Oh my God. There we go. Tier 4 rocket. All that's left is to launch to Glacio, and we get a netherite spacesuit for going there, even though we have to have a netherite spacesuit to go to the planet before it, so they give us a reward that's useless. That's so nice of them. All right, let's go do some reading, make sure we don't need any other special armor or anything. You know, let's go make sure we are truly ready for this. We'll get ourselves another launch pad, and we'll go get the Glacio stone we need for our cryo freezer. So I don't know what else there is to do on Glacio. I guess we'll have to go see. But yeah, let me go get some stuff together. All right, this says we're headed to Proxima Centauri, which is the closest star to our star in real life. So yeah, we're going there, and it says there's nothing on Glacio, but there is. There's Glacio stone, which we need for our recipe. So I've shift right clicked, filled our tier 4 rocket, tossed on our netherite spacesuit. We have a full tank of oxygen. We have extra oxygen that's we need to change the charge mode before we go. So now it's enabled for all armor. We learned that before. Let's go. Ooh, we have a new solar system on the thing. All right, Glacio, here we go. We're going to Glacio. Oh, it did this thing where it glitches. Let me save and quit the title and come right back. Here we are. We have landed. I meant to unpause while we were in the air and forgot to. So, safely on the surface of Glacio. Let's go find ourselves a safe spot to toss down our matter receiver so we can get back here if we need to. Maybe side of this hill or something. Here's our Glacio. Nope, this is permafrost. This isn't the stone yet. I guess we got to go deeper to get for it, but let's go ahead and just make a little room in here, and we'll toss our matter receiver to get back in it. Okay, and then all we need for that is a flux point. And I brought a matter receiver with us. So down there, we'll put the flux point behind it, matter receiver. We'll call this Glacio. And then we will need to put a power to it. And add it to our charged porter. So now we can get back here if we need to. And let's go find our stone. I wonder if I should just mine down or if it's like in a different biome or something. Oh, there's mobs here. There's a structure over there. It's probably just more Lunarians or whatever. What are you? A ram. Haha, get wrecked. All right. Light terracotta, glacio stone. Yes. Come back here. Let's grab out some torches so we can see. At least these don't burn out. Wonder what the structure is. Are there going to be Lunarians and stuff? There's a sack with a string. Birch bookshelves. Still just string, some leather armor. Bunch of not so good stuff so far. Barrel with really nothing. All right, so let's just get what we came for. We need these bricks and lots of them. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but we're going to get them. Oh, here's glacio stone right here. Sweet. Let's just mine a bunch of this and get out of here. So let's head back to base and we'll get going on some more progress. All right, we completed our visit to Glacio, which gives us a full set of netherite spacesuit, which we've already crafted, but thanks. We also completed the To the Stars quest line, so we get cake. Now, the jet suit. Oh, maybe that's why they gave us an extra set of netherite. Ah, we can make the jet suit. Jet suit is our final tier of spacesuit. In addition to providing oxygen, this one also provides flight while powered with FE. Hold spacebar to fly. Hold space and control to boost like an elytra. Interesting. Cool. So we'll get to make our spacesuit. Oh my god! We got to make like more calorite engines and tanks. So glad we automated that. And by the way, I hadn't looked at that quest. I didn't know we were going to need more of that space plating block, but we're gonna if we want to make the jet suit. Now that it's automated, heck yeah. I don't understand how I want a rocket engine that will power a rocket on my back. But I mean, you know, it's Minecraft. It's fine. It's fine. So we're going to toss those in storage till we need them. Not planning to work on that today. We'll need to head back to the old base to put our tier 4 rocket on the pad with the rest of them. We'll toss it in our backpack because that makes total sense that you can fit a rocket in your backpack. We'll toss it in there for safekeeping. Let's put up our netherite oxygen container. Let's toss all this glacio stone into our storage. And let's take a look at that cryo freezer. So this cryo freezer is the key to our last tier of diesel. It's like, yeah, it unlocks basically the end of the game. So now it looks like we're going to need to make another Ostrom tank. So, look, we set up the space plating block automation and now we just got to add the recipe to be able to make our Ostrom tank. Awesome. Okay. And then 2 Ostrom blocks. So that's no big deal. We can knock those out right now. And now we're going to we have everything except this Ostrom tank. So we need to get our recipe done up for Ostrom space plating. Make sure all of its prerequisites have patterns. And then dynamic tanks and hardened glass. So dynamic, let's go ahead and get the dynamic tanks going. So we need 27 of those. And we needed 14 hardened glass. Okay. And so while those are going, let's take a look at the Ostrom space plating block. Ostrom space, where is it? Why am I not see? There it is. Ostrom space plating block. So this one is 100 millibuckets of lithium per. So that means we need to send 0.4 and then 4 Ostrom space plating and a lead plate. So we need to wheel click you. You become 0.4 set. And then you, oh God, I did not mean to do that. Ostrom space plating. And then you need 4. So 4 of those, 1 lead plate, and 0.4 liquid lithium makes our pattern for Ostrom space plating block. And I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and do the dash, since we will then have all the other ones in there. So why not go ahead and do dash? Dash space plating block. So it is Quicksilver, a bucket, 4 dash space plating. So 4, 2, 3, 4, and a bucket. Set. There we go. So I think that gets us all of our space plating blocks to toss into our its storage controller down here. So dash, Ostrom, Calorite. Is that all? There's 4 tiers of rocket, 4 space plating blocks. Sounds good to me. So now they're all in there. We will have to set drawers for the fluids and all that. So I will probably do all of that off camera like I discussed. I'm going to put them all into individual fluid drawers so that I don't have to unlock them. Or I guess I could get some of each fluid and just one and done it. And then somebody in the comments of the video was saying, A, they appreciated it, but B, that they didn't think I needed to lock the drawers for the items. And I think they could be right on that. But the fluids have been wonky for me, and I'm going to go with that. But I think what they're saying is basically, if this drawer controller just has all of these drawers unlocked, I don't have to specify the items, and there just needs to be enough empty drawers for the different item types that are coming in. So I do like that idea a little better. Leave this unlocked and just let it be. But this side, I do believe we're going to have to set the fluids or do individual fluid drawers for each type. But they have to be predefined, or the controller, this controller won't just put a fluid it gets into an empty drawer, even if it's unlocked. Or at least it hasn't been over there with the way we have all of our other fluids set up. So that'll be something to take a look into. But for now, we just need to do this Ostrom space plating, which means I need to grab a bucket of liquid lithium and an Ostrom space plating. And then we need to see if we even have enough liquid lithium. So let's grab out a bucket. And that liquid lithium is brownish, wherever it is. Phenolic resin, force-infused diesel, liquid force, molten cheese. Brine. I know I have lithium. Is it empty? I bet you we're out of it. I bet you that's it right there. Let's go take a look, see what's going on with lithium. Well, this is what's going on with lithium. I never had lithium being outputted into an ender tank. It's just going into a tank sitting right here. So yeah, let's set an ender tank frequency. We're going to go like yellow, white, white, I think is what we're going to do. So just yellow on the first one. I don't think there's anything using that. Nope, still looks empty. So now let's toss down our yellow, white, white, and have it output our liquid lithium there. We have a tank full, and we have an ender tank that let's go ahead and set the frequency so we don't forget what it's for. And we can tie this into our storage back at our base and get our liquid lithium back attached to our storage, or I guess attached for the first time. All right, like you've seen me before, set up an ender tank, piping it in. Got our liquid lithium tied to our system up there, and it looks like it's probably going to bleed it dry because there are some processes that use that to make other things that because we didn't have it tied in, have run out. So, yeah, if we're going to do these space plating blocks, we better do them quick. How many of these did we need? 66 for a tank, right? So, Ostrom plating blocks, 66. Okay. Let's hope there's enough lithium. Let's grab out 1 bucket of liquid lithium to go set our filter. So let's try out 2 things. Let's try out the unlock of the drawers and see if that gets us good to go on items. And then we're going to unlock this, but see, there's nowhere for the fluids to go because there's not one in the drawer. But if I put one in, it should have let them go through, but didn't. Let's go get one more. Well, the liquid lithium actually did go through. It just automatically moved it. Liquid lithium. So now we should be able to put one more through to set the drawer. And then if we lock it, and let's go cancel this thing and then re-request it and see what happens. AE2 things. What is it doing? Right now it's making all sorts of stuff. I guess we need to let it make its stuff. All right, I'm going to hold while this crafts. Well, just like before, we forgot to set our filters. So on our extract card, I think we are not filtering here. We're filtering on all the inserts. So those should be fine. The lithium is actually already in here. So now we just need to north. This one is going to take the Ostrom space plating. So let's just drag that into here. And that should send it over. This one is going to take the lead sheet metal. Was that it, I think? Or just, yeah, lead plate. This one, right? Is that what we got sent? Yeah, lead plate. And then the lithium's going. There we go. So don't forget, once again, to add those into your laser IO for each of the recipes you add. So glad we automated this now, and I had no clue. Honestly, when I did this thing, I had no clue we were going to need to make a bunch of this stuff or anything else. Hadn't even looked or thought about it. So super glad we came up with this. And it does look like leaving the drawers unlocked is going to work out just fine. It won't work for the fluids, unfortunately. They have to have that like residual to know that they can put it there for whatever reason. But the items, we can just leave it unlocked, and that would really mean we could cut this down to just 2 drawers because there's only 2 items coming in of each type. So, but here we have it. This is going to keep going, making up our Ostrom space plating for our Ostrom tank that we need for our cryo freezer. I'm just going to wait on that to finish up, and we'll be back with you. All right, y'all. So there we have it. 66 Ostrom space plating blocks made in our automated setup. It's pretty awesome. So the last thing we need to do is we need to go and craft up this tank the same way we've done it before. So I'm going to go do that. And I think we're going to wrap today's episode up with crafting up that cryo freezer. Alrighty, there we have it. 1 Ostrom tank and 1 cryo freezer. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. We'll get into setting up that block and more fun on progression in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do, so that I can continue on making this content and getting it out to people that actually want to see it. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.